Hi there and welcome back. It's me, Teacher Mike from phuketpals. In this lesson, we're going to look at a model answer for an opinion essay. I think at this stage of the course, it's important for you just to see a model answer and just to see what you have to try and aim for. And you'll definitely learn some things from this particular example. You'll see as we kind of progress, it's well more than good enough to get over a band 7.5. And it contains lots of juicy stuff in there that you can learn from yourself. Okay, so as you'll see from the essay, there's some language here in green, and we have some language in red. The linking language of the essay, I have marked with the green here, okay, and that's the cohesive language. And if you're not sure what cohesion means, go back to the video about band descriptors and what the examiner is looking for, okay, because cohesion is very important within the essay. It's important that each paragraph links to the one before. It's important that within each paragraph, everything links together as well. Okay, so that's what cohesion is, the linking together. Think of your essay like a jigsaw. Okay, think of each paragraph has to click together like jigsaw pieces, 4 jigsaw pieces. Also within each paragraph, each sentence must click together, link together to the sentence before. That's cohesion. You'll also see here that we have language in red. This is for lexical resource. Again, go back to the video on the band descriptors if you can't remember. It just means vocabulary. Okay. Top tip for you is please do not learn lists of vocabulary and try and use them in your essay. Don't do that. It's old school, it's very old fashioned, and it really won't help you that much. What you need to do is try and use language and vocabulary that is as natural as possible. This must include things like lexical chunks or language that kind of comes together in a block, or things like emotional state, language that links together, words that link together, daily basis, as you'll see here. Now, it's difficult to learn these types of phrases because there are not many books that contain them. But later in the course, I'm going to do a video that you can see in which I teach you how to use a news article and how to pick out this type of language and then learn it. So that'll be useful for you later on. I can tell you that the examiner really likes this type of language in red. Okay, they see it as more natural, and yeah, you get good points for it. So pay attention, make a note in your notebook if you need to. So let's have a look at the question. It says, do you think robots will ever replace teachers in the classroom? Okay, so this is a single opinion essay. Okay, do you think robots will ever replace teachers in the classroom? Nothing too complicated there. Let's see how we did things. Just note that we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 paragraphs. An introduction, body 1, body 2, and the conclusion. A teacher years ago, when I was just a nipper, he often said to me about essays being like a gigantic cheeseburger. And he said to me, you should have your introduction, it's like your thin piece of bread on the top. Your 2 body paragraphs are your meat, your sauce, and your lettuce, and everything that's juicy and delicious inside the burger. So your body paragraphs themselves must be the juicy part, the bit that tells the most information to the reader. And then the conclusion is like the bottom piece of bread on that cheeseburger. It just makes it whole. Okay, now think about eating a cheeseburger without a bottom piece of bread. That's like writing an essay without a conclusion. You're gonna be a mess. It's messy, it's disgusting, and it just doesn't make sense. The same as eating a cheeseburger without an introduction or a top piece of bread, It doesn't make sense. So make sure you have that structure sorted before you even think about putting pen to paper, guys. Let's have a look. Do you think robots will ever replace teachers in the classroom? In the modern era, technology is increasingly being used in classroom situations. This has led some people to predict that in the near future, robots or other forms of technology might replace human teachers for instruction. In my opinion, this is unlikely to ever happen because technology will never have the power to connect with students on an emotional level or control discipline. Now, there's quite a lot going on in this introduction. You can see there's a little bit of introductory language here, which starts us off nicely in the modern era, in modern times. Okay, technology is increasingly being used in classroom situations. So this first sentence here, it just gives some general background information about the essay topic. Okay, don't give the reader too much at this stage. The first sentence is to set the stage, to set up what the essay is generally about. The next sentence, you will notice, gives a little bit more specific detail because it mentions about teachers in the classroom. This has led some people to predict that in the near future, robots or other forms of technology might replace human teachers for instruction. So this second sentence puts a little bit more meat on the bones, shall we say. It gives a little bit more detail about this sentence here. Okay, and that's important. Again, we're not super specific, but we're getting there. In the third sentence, we get very specific and we answer this question. In my opinion, this is unlikely to ever happen because technology will never have the power to connect with students on an emotional level or control discipline. So you can see, third sentence, we directly give our opinion. Then with these last two statements here, connect with students on an emotional level or control discipline, we tell the examiner the ideas we're going to use to support our opinion. Number one, number two, which will become body one and body two. So this idea here will be developed in body one. This idea here will be developed in body two. Okay, so you can see how that introduction works. It's quite nicely controlled and organized. And you get decent points for it. Body one. The first reason why robots will never replace teachers is that students need emotional interaction on a daily basis. Notice this links directly to this idea here in the introduction, as we said. Now let's develop the idea. For example, students have a wide range of emotional needs, such as the need to be nurtured, encouraged, and motivated. In order to get the most from a learner, a teacher must be aware of all these emotional states and modify their approach to suit the emotional conditions. Okay, so you can see there with our, for example, linking word, we have just developed the idea here. We've developed it, fleshed it out, and made our argument seem more believable. Okay, then what we do is we give a little contrast here. Okay, now this is a nice little trick in paragraph development. You can contrast it and show the opposite. In contrast, a robot couldn't possibly connect with students on this level, therefore neglecting this vital teaching skill. So there we make a comparison with a robot and show that the robot could not perform this task. Therefore, the human is needed in the classroom. Then we use the word thus. Thus is the same as so or therefore. It shows a result. Thus, students would progress at a slower rate when only dealing with technology. Okay, so we show here the result of a robot in the classroom. Students would actually learn at a slower rate. So we're arguing here that with a human in the classroom, students would actually progress at a quicker rate because humans can deal with these emotional needs of students and adjust their lessons accordingly. Okay, so that's body one, taken care of. Body two, again, notice we have the first reason, we have the second reason, because we've got two reasons here that directly support our opinion. Okay, reason one that supports our opinion and reason two that supports our opinion from the introduction. The second reason why teachers will always have relevance in a classroom environment is because of the need to control discipline. Okay, notice that link straight directly into this idea here. For instance, okay, notice the linking language again. Here we used for example, here we used for instance. This just gives us, we don't repeat for example again and we get better vocab points. Think about that. For instance, teenagers, because of hormone imbalances, often behave in an unruly way in the classroom. If this continues, many of their peers will not learn as much as they should. Therefore, a teacher is necessary to control behavior so all students can learn to the best of their abilities. Robots or AI simply wouldn't be able to perform in this way. As a result, teachers will remain for a long time to come. Let's have a look. The second reason links everything together, okay? Then we develop the idea, for instance, develop, develop, develop. Then we have an if clause here, if this continues, okay? So a nice condition here. We're using a conditional, an if clause sentence, conditional sentence to develop our idea. Then we give a result of that, therefore, okay? And then we give another result here. As a result, teachers will remain for a long time to come. So this little sentence kind of links everything back to our opinion, our overall opinion that teachers are necessary in the classroom. That can be a good idea. Sometimes at the end of body paragraphs, just have a little sentence that links everything back to your overall opinion again, just so the reader doesn't get lost, and it provides just nice cohesion. It also keeps it nice and coherent as well, so the reader finds things easy as they go along. Okay, so that's the body done. The body is complete. Now the conclusion. Linking language as has been shown. Okay, I like this phrase for two reasons. One, it provides nice cohesion because you're saying as has been shown in the body. So it kind of links all of the body. It links your conclusion to your body. Also, you're starting the sentence with as, as. So again, you've got a complex sentence there. As is useful, so is if, as we saw back here. These words get you complex sentences and they get you, points for that. As has been shown, teachers are vitally important in the classroom to look after the emotional needs of the learners and to control behavior. Okay, so we're just summarizing here. Teachers are needed in the classroom to look after the emotional needs, okay, linking into the introduction and body one, and to control bad behavior, the idea here, and body two here. So we're just summarizing everything for the reader. And the final sentence, robots, as useful as they are, have their limitations. So this is the final nail in the coffin for our robot friends. We kind of kick them when they're down at the very end of the essay here. And also we, as you can see, robots, as useful as they are, we've got a nice extra information clause there with 2 commas, which gets us nice sentence points as well from the examiner. Okay, so that's about it, guys. I strongly advise you write down all the language in red and keep reading through these examples, learning from them, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.